This restock trend is keeping people broke, and the kitchen version might be the worst of them all. Perfectly organized fridges, pantries, and cabinets filled with matching containers and aesthetic food setups that cost a fortune. What looks like you're getting your life together is really just constant overbuying and replacing things that were perfectly fine to begin with. It's not about organization anymore, it's about spending more. So in this video, we're gonna break down how this trend is pushing extreme consumerism and why it might be doing more harm than good to your wallet. As usual, I'll be featuring some of your comments in today's video, so if you want to be in the next one, then definitely make sure to drop your thoughts down below. Well, it has been quite a few months since we did an entire video dedicated to kitchen restocks. So I'm very curious to see what new advancements have been made in the space. Let's get into it. Fridge organization. Oh, well, that's new. Hold on. We got to pause this. I can't even get over the fact that we now have created a gadget to hang the Chobani cups on the side of the fridge. To me, it almost seems like it would take the same amount of space if you just stack them normally, or you might even be able to fit 3 layers to 4 layers if you stack them normally. So to me, this kind of just seems like a waste of space. I would almost argue that if she just put them in the fridge like normal and stack them upright, she might actually save more space than gluing them to the side of the fridge. Oh my gosh. Egg containers taking up too much space. Okay. Oh my God, everything. Look, I get it. It's satisfying. It's aesthetically pleasing. But not everything needs a 15-step process when you buy it. Not everything needs to be taken out of the packaging and put into a different large, bulky container that is taking up an obnoxious amount of space in your refrigerator. It doesn't make sense. And did anybody else notice the milk situation that was going on there? You notice how she subtly cut out the fact that she wasn't able to put all the milk from the container in her little cutesy milk jar, you know, that they used to deliver back in the 40s or something like that, went from the milkman that used to exist. I bet not a lot of you guys even remember there used to be a milkman. That was before my time. But where did she put the container that was like had a quarter or a half the milk left in it? Is she throwing the milk carton in the garbage and wasting the milk? Or is there like another fridge we don't know about where all the rejected B grade and half-filled products live in? It's a complete waste. Anywho, I wanted to read a couple of comments that you guys had left on previous kitchen restock and like influencer restock insanity episodes. If you haven't checked those out, highly recommend you do. And if you want to get featured in the next episode, definitely make sure to drop a comment down below. I could have sworn we were all complaining about the prices of gas and groceries. How are they even affording all of this every few months? Yeah, that is a great question. And many weeks ago, we dropped an episode exposing most of these influencers. You ask, how are they affording all of this every few months? Keep in mind, this is probably every few weeks, not months. They're all broke. It's all credit card debt. It's all a big facade to get you to buy their affiliate links and buy all their plastic container products, as well as, you know, get views and rage bait you guys. None of it is actually real. $4,000 weekly restock? The guy just said, just the previous comment was, how can they afford to do this every couple of months? This lady's doing a $4,000 a month weekly restock, 16 grand every month. Oh, over 160K a year on food? Man, I am in the wrong tax bracket. 8 gallons of milk. 8 gallons of milk. Because why? What family? 4 packs of scent boosters that we're mixing together. Now we're going to... Why are we mixing scent boosters together? I can't even imagine the smell of that. It's almost like putting 6 different types of air fresheners in your car. What are you even smelling at this point? You're just wasting them all. Oh, so obnoxious. A container and a container. More scent boosters? Decanting mouthwash? Is that rice? Okay. That's okay, whatever. That's cool, okay. That's fine. All right, so here's the thing. Before I forget. So here's my issue with all of these plastic containers and having all of them like dedicated in your fridge, your pantry, or something like that. See, she had that, very cool, aesthetically pleasing plastic clear egg sorter, which, okay, in theory sounds cool, but in my mind, it's like it's taking up more space than there needs to be. Because when I buy, 2 packs of eggs, let's say from Costco, the bulk size, and I finish one of them, I throw the cartridge, the container out. And then I just have one, which means I now have more space for other groceries in my fridge. And then let's say I finish half of the other one. Sometimes I cut that in half and I reduce the space it takes up. So I, yet again, have more room in my fridge for things like, I don't know, leftovers. When you have a fridge that is filled with jars and containers like that egg cartridge container, what happens when you use up majority of your eggs? It's still taking up an obnoxious amount of space and you don't throw it out. So to me, it gets to a level where the organization does more harm than good. It's almost counterintuitive, if that makes sense. Restock my fridge with me? This is what I'm talking about. This is point blank exactly what I'm talking about. See, what happens when some of those jars and containers are like, half done or half full, or the products in them you get close to the end with. If it was in some other packaging, you can reduce it. I suppose you could do the same thing here, but it just takes up an obnoxious amount of space. And now you have less room for other things. This is insanity. Again with the... so silly. That is so excessive. Okay, that's cool. That's also unique. All right, so the butter slicer that you put in its own separate container, that's pretty cool. I can see that being semi-useful. But again, once you have a little bit left, it's still in a large container that's going to take up space. I just leave a stick in my, the top corner of the fridge that opens and closes. And then when, I use more, I cut it and I fold it up and it gets smaller. It takes less space and I have more room for another stick or something else. But then the other product that caught my eye, I don't know, some of you guys said it was cool in previous videos, the Weed Chicken Grater. See, some of these products do have their own use case and do solve a problem for some people. But when you get all of them, it's a bit excessive because not everybody needs that product. But to have all that and then to have this sheer amount of waste, I mean, look at this. There's no room for anything in there. There's no room for leftovers. They're in obnoxiously large containers that once you use it, there's no room for anything else. It just doesn't make sense to me. This is all for facade. This is all for clicks, views, and rage bait. I wanted to read a couple of comments, or one of the comments from this previous TikTok because I found it interesting. Someone said, I always wanted to do this, but I have no idea where to even start. See, this goes back to my point that I made before, that people do actually copy this stuff. There's another comment. Can you link the organizers? Wow, love this and need this. Where are all your containers from? Don't get me wrong. A little here, in moderation, a little organization is certainly helpful, and I do condone it as I do it myself. And it is very useful to find, the stuff that you have or to see everything that you have. But to this level of extreme organization, I just see it doing more harm than good.
We have food at home, but need to turn it into food my kids will actually eat. So instead of going to the grocery store, let's make our own groceries. My girls were loving oranges. I bought another bag. And of course, they wanted nothing to do with them.
So this is super cool. I actually have always been fascinated by using mason jars or reduce, reuse, recycle, because constantly you buy tomato sauce from the store and it comes in a nice container, glass container. Just put a lid on it, and not only do you have storage containers, but you also have cups. So I'm really fascinated by this. Then you have, what is this, dressing or a juice pourer? I don't even know. It's so cool.
Oranges. So instead of letting them go to waste, I made orange juice. While shopping in my pantry, I found a bottle of grape juice, and since it's officially popsicle weather here in Oklahoma, I took that juice and made grape popsicles. Is it technically homemade? No. But do my kids love it? Yes. Last week, I made beef bone broth. I skimmed the tallow off, rendered it down, so now I have tallow for cooking. I haven't made sourdough sandwich bread for a couple weeks now, so I doubled the recipe and made 4 loaves. 2 loaves of bread were in the Pullman loaf pan, and the other 2 were just in a regular bread pan. I made sure to do these while my bread thief was at school, because as soon as she got home, she got a hold of 1 loaf. After making the sandwich bread, I had leftover sourdough, and instead of letting the discard just sit there on the counter, I made sourdough discard banana muffins. Our chickens are finally laying again, and I am officially swimming in eggs. So I took 40 eggs and am currently turning them into freeze-dried eggs. So now next winter, when our chickens are no longer laying, we'll still have farm fresh eggs. We had quite a bit of milk in our fridge, and a good way to use up some of that milk is to make pudding, specifically chocolate pudding. I doubled the recipe. Half got turned into pudding and the other half got turned into chocolate pudding pops. I don't know. They're yummy. We had strawberries in the freezer and more bananas to use up, so I made more Danimals. Of course, it wouldn't be a restock without some sort of sweet treat. So I made some brownies. Healthy? Absolutely not. But I'm not a health account. My girls needed more snacks for lunches, and a go-to is always s'mores granola bars. As soon as my husband got home from work, he instantly saw the granola bars and helped himself. And last but not least were egg bites. I had bacon I wanted to use up and just threw them in the egg bites. And just like that, I have a sink full of dirty dishes and food that will last 2 seconds.
Wow. I am so fascinated by homesteading, the ability to kind of be in control of your groceries and to be kind of self-sufficient is always fascinating to me. I've always been into that, working on your own cars, getting to work on your own stuff, fixing your own things. I think it's super cool, and it really does make you feel very prideful and confident if you can work and do your own things and not rely so much on other people. And maybe one day in the future, I'll have my own chicken coop. I don't know. Sounds cool. Have you guys ever done that? Do you have your own chickens? I think it's a cool idea to have and to be able to get your own eggs and bake and stuff like that. This is probably the only thing I can understand really having a ton of jars for, actually using them for their intended purpose. If you're doing a lot of home cooking and you have leftovers and you bake or you homestead, you need to have jars or containers to put the larger amount of food in. I like to meal prep. Every week we meal prep. We make a large family style meal, and every now and then we move them into containers for the week to grab and go and eat and stuff like that. That is serving a purpose, having like real world utility, being useful. Just the unnecessary need to buy prepackaged single-use stuff and then decant them and put them in other plastic packaged stuff and then in larger containers to put them in your fridge to take up more space and then do this rinse, repeat, recycle constantly is just crazy. The little diabetes comment has me dying. Yeah. So I had made a previous episode on like restock influencers because it's very seasonal. So not only do they do this for kitchen and pantry restocks, but they love making it festive. They love making the kitchen restocks about a certain holiday or festivity. And the previous, or we see it very, very common during Christmas, but also Halloween and all the other holidays. A lot of the times, Little Debbie's makes their own limited edition festive themed version of it. And for Christmas, they had a ton of them. And I'd call it Little Diabetes because the sheer amount that these influencers would buy would make anybody diabetic. Honestly, overnight. Healthy Girl Fridge Restock. See, I got to stop her right there super quick. Guys, if you're trying to save money and be on a budget, buying food and things out of convenience is how you're going to waste a lot more money. So she bought pre-cut pineapple or something or mango. That is almost 2 to 3 times more expensive than if you just bought the pineapple yourself and cut it up. I promise you. Well, that's an interesting one. What is that? Oh my gosh. Crazy. That's a cool top. I like those. Why are we taking the meat out? Oh, really? Now, you know what's even more insane than these kitchen restocks and decanting all of the single-use plastic products and putting them into other containers? The fact that more than 60% of you guys that watch these videos aren't actually subscribed to the channel. Believe it or not, subscribing to the channel is completely free. It doesn't cost a dime. And if anything, you might learn some stuff that will actually save you money in the long run. Not to mention, a lot of you guys have been leaving comments on my previous videos saying that you thought you were subscribed to the channel when you actually aren't. So if it's not too much to ask, just check really quick to make sure that you are subscribed. I think something's changing with the YouTube algorithm that my videos might show up constantly on your feed, but that doesn't mean you're subscribed to my channel. So just do me a favor and take a quick peek. Anyways, I want to settle a debate here. Do you guys leave your bread in the fridge once it's open, or do you leave it on the counter or in a bread box? Because she put it in the fridge. I'm not a huge fan of cold bread, although I do know some breads can be found in the freezer or the fridge section, but most aren't. Most can be left on the counter. Full fridge restock. This just seems a bit extra to me. Oh, that's a lot of snacks, man. Is that like a $10,000 refrigerator? Like, that fridge was freaking huge. Absolutely huge. Like I said before, guys, if you buy groceries for convenience, if you convenience shop, you will spend more money than if you buy like bulk or just family size or just regular size containers. This is a big thing that I don't think a lot of people realize is it really does put a damper on your wallet and your spending budget. Like you could probably cut your grocery bill in half by buying things in bulk or regular size and not the pre-sliced stuff. If you buy grated cheese versus a block, if you buy mini name brand Chobani containers versus the regular name brand. Notice all these videos we played, not one thing was store brand. Now, I've made videos on food hacks and how to save money, and I highly recommend you check those videos out. I will be dropping another video shortly because it is very popular. I guess today people really need help trying to save money. These videos do not help because not only does it influence you to overspend and overconsume and keep up with this trend of restocking junk plastic stuff, but it also is influencing you to buy tons of snack food. Now, I get the debate that it's healthy and it's helpful here and there for your kids and stuff like that. I get it. Trust me. But if you are trying to save money and you're trying to become financially free or get out of debt, if that is important to you, one thing you can do is buy things in bulk. I buy one large container of yogurt or of cottage cheese, and it lasts a long time, and it's so much cheaper than if I bought single-use cups of yogurt. Keep in mind, I could go through like 3 of those in 30 seconds, and my larger container of yogurt can last me a couple of days easily. So this is something you guys have to think about. Guarantee you, after they make these videos, they revert everything back. It's all a setup for views. I totally agree. I really don't think any of this is realistic, but what I am more upset with is the fact that people can't realize this, that maybe they're too gullible, maybe they're too naive, but they really genuinely think that this is how people's fridges are. And I understand it's satisfying and it's aesthetically pleasing, but it's not realistic. There's no room in there for anything. And to just keep up with it would be exhausting. Every time you go shopping, you have to find stuff to fit in those containers. Not everything is going to fit in it. So you're going to be forced to buying single-use smaller packs. Because if you bought something too big or you bought a larger amount or something smaller or you know what I'm saying, it's not going to work. And then you're going to have extra things like I was saying before. It won't all fit in your fridge, and now you'll need another fridge or another storage area to put all the stuff that's half filled. I wanted to film one of them restocks, but I have no money. Commenting so you can afford to restock. Bro, chill. You do not need that many cucumbers. Restock? No. Out of stock is more like it. This video has made me realize it's actually the sounds they make rather than the restock itself that I actually find satisfying. This is so true. It's just the sounds about the video, but people get influenced from everything and they don't even realize it. Look at that house. I'll be damned. Gold everything. Wow. Oh my gosh. This kitchen. Not all the chips fit. Wow, what is going on? This is nuts. Something about this is kind of freaking me out. Wow. I didn't realize there were that many different ways to make me feel poor, to be honest with you. Jeez, gold encrusted handles and everything. The only time I have ever seen a 3-tier cereal dispenser and even had the room for it was at the hotels that I stay in when I travel. To have one of those in your house is kind of crazy to me. It's kind of a bit much. What's fun is these influencers only exist inside of your device. If you turn it off, they cease to exist. It really is true. Not only is it really true, but I really do think a lot of the reasons people overspend is, because of this thing right here and the, sheer convenience and the dopamine hacking that, companies do based off this phone, the data tracking and all this stuff to figure out what type of spender or person you are and then put convenient ads in front of your face. I mean, there's a very good chance while you're watching this video, the fact that we're talking about these containers, if you don't start, you'll probably end up getting some of these container ads on your feed and interruption advertisements in this video. I would not be surprised. It's happened before. I've made videos talking about car payments and how terrible they are. And then you guys have literally left comments telling me that advertisers are advertising cars and low finance payments on my videos while I'm bad-mouthing them. It's hysterical. POV Sunday reset fridge restock. Oh my gosh, gold labeled decanted stuff. Wow. Containers. That's a neat fridge. A neat sink. I do like how you can put those trays in. Where is that? A dedicated snack drawer fridge is definitely something I have not seen before. That's interesting. Now, I'm not sure if it's this influencer, but other kitchen restock influencers, I have exposed them in previous videos of my influencers lying episodes where these aren't even their kitchens. You believe it or not. They actually rent these kitchens out for a couple of hours to make content out of. You can actually, for a couple of hours, rent these beautiful mansions out in like Beverly Hills or wherever, maybe even ones local to them, and film your content. You film several videos. That's why the fridges have absolutely nothing in them when they first get there. So it's the perfect opportunity to restock everything. And then they take it all right back out after a couple of hours and they can post their content and completely deceive everybody and make you think that they're super wealthy and that this is what they do. Restock their fridges like that. $500 grocery restock. Jeez, that's my monthly budget. So many drinks. It's always the egg containers. All the mini snack name brand cheeses. Because it's the only thing that fits. They must be a vegetarian or something. It's all single-use little snacks. It's all snack products and a couple bits of fruit. Oh, there's the meat. Oh, it's just cheese. Now we're taking them out of the packaging. I promise you, taking the meats and the chickens and the stuff like that out of those vacuum sealed containers, start the clock. It speeds everything up. And now you don't have as long as the Best Buy day stated. because the best buy date or the expiration date is like how long a product can last specifically in the container that it's in. And once you open it up, that's it. The expiration date is no longer valid. It changes. And now you have maybe a week or two of that product before it goes bad, depending on the product and how many preservatives and stuff like that is in it. But it's just a silly thing to do. Open it when you're ready to eat it. Otherwise, you're just wasting food at that point. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this kitchen restock stuff. Do you guys do this at home? Do you have any of these products? I think some of them are useful, like that, chicken grater to certain people. Some of these were cool, but it's a bit excessive if you go and purchase it all. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Definitely make sure to smash the like button if you haven't already. Turn on post notifications, subscribe, and if you haven't seen my previous Restock Insanity influencer episode, definitely make sure to check it out right after this. Peace.